Hello, so now that I've kind of finished the 5 fundamentals of foosball, I've had quite a few requests to talk about defense. So I thought I'd do a couple series of what I'm going to call the duplicity of defense, because defense has a lot of faces to it, or a lot of aspects to it. So we'll go through a couple of those and we'll see how it goes, and maybe later on then we'll have some discussions about the mental game, maybe some different other things. Like if you have other comments, things you want to hear about and hear me yatter on about, feel more than free to make suggestions and comments. I'm open and willing to share whatever, to a limit. I don't want to give away all my trade secrets and make it so I can never win a game again. But anyways, defense. Really, this might sound like a bit of a cop-out, but the first big aspect of defense is don't let your opponent get the ball. Like they have right to, if they win the drop, drop the ball 5 times. But barring that, really by not letting them get the ball is really about taking good, solid reads, honoring every possession when you have the ball. Do everything in your power to make sure that you execute and be able to pass and put the ball in the hole properly. If you kind of take quick reads, take risks, take chances, like some risks are good and that's fine, but there's like just total blind, quick shot, really didn't think, don't know why you did it, panicking shots, quick passes, not being disciplined with, if the ball's not in the right spot and you pass it anyways kind of thing. Being stubborn about certain things if it's not working, things like that. Just like honoring every possession so that you make sure that when you have the ball, you execute to the best of your abilities, and that way that'll minimize the amount of opportunities that your opponent has. So in football, they kind of say the best offense is a good defense. Well, it's kind of the other way around for me for foosball. It's kind of like if you don't let them get the ball, they can't score, or it really minimizes their opportunities to score. So that's kind of first and foremost, just focus on what you can do when you have the ball, and that all that worry about defense will really kind of become secondary, especially if you win the drop. Anyways, or win the serve. So just generally defenses. So now if they do have the ball. Defense for me, I'll start off with the defensive zone defense. Like if the opponent has the ball and they're shooting a pull or whatever, or a rollover, whatever they're shooting, or a euro for front pin. Defense initially, I'm not a big proponent of trying to read tells and trying to read shoulder movements and things like that. That's not where I found my success. I'm not saying this is a bad thing to do. It just doesn't work for me. So what I really focus on is just like I mentioned before in one of my other series or videos, was just being aware, just being open as to what's happening. Like this player, when they shoot on you, they're telling you things. They're not going to shoot totally blind all the time. They're going to shoot for different reasons, and your motions kind of dictated those reasons. So if you're just being aware as to what's happening, like kind of if you're just moving around kind of thing, always be aware of how you're moving. Just be like aware. When they shot, what did you do before to make them shoot? Did you pop out like that and they shot middle? Like was it one of these ones that shot middle and that one that shot middle? Or was it when you switched they shot middle? Was it when you switched this way they shot middle? Or long way, whatever it was that they shot? What was it that you did? So just being kind of aware, paying attention to what you're doing, not totally focused on it and trying to track every single little movement, but just being aware to what you did that made them shoot, or what did they react to that allowed them to shoot. So then you can kind of get a sense of that, and you can kind of like, you can kind of test it out. Well, okay, I'll show the same thing. Say if it was whenever you switched, they shot middle, because that would be kind of like if a pull shooter saw that, they'd be able to spray their middle pretty easily. Say if that was the case, then you can kind of show the same kind of motion and then do like a switch, but then don't switch big middle, switch differently, and kind of just try that out. Did they react the same kind of thing, or now did they start going longer? So then you can adjust to that kind of thing. But it's just about being aware. And that's like one way that I've done defense, is just by trying to like, from ball to ball, what did I do that made them react to how they shot? And then you kind of just build on that story, and you kind of learn how they shoot. You kind of learn what they like to look at. You kind of learn after a while, maybe they always like to shoot at the goalie. Some people that I know that's the way that they think, because if they shoot at the 2-bar and it deflects, then it's likely to not go in the net. But if they shoot at the goalie, there's a good chance that if it does deflect, it is going to go in the net. Kind of thinking, some people do shoot like that. So if that's the case, you can kind of just focus your defense, then start focusing more on that goalie and its movements, and what did it take for them to shoot. Do they like to shoot at the man as you're coming off the hole, or do they like to shoot as, if you come off a hole and then they bang into a hole, kind of thing? Like, what's their mentality when they shoot? So if they've focused in on that goalie and they say they go bang long, bang long, bang long, well then you can start to build on that. You got your motions. You're moving from position to a position. I'll get into more of that later, but you're doing your motions, and you start to realize that's the way that they're shooting. They're shooting, at my goalie as he's moving off the long, and they're just being really patient. There's a lot of pull shooters that'll just love to sit on the ball until they have the mentality that says, well, they can't be on long forever, so I just have to wait for it to be open, and they'll eventually come off of it. So they'll have that mentality, and a lot of times it works for them. So you can kind of like show them the same motion. Like, say if you're showing this thing and you go bop off, and they've been shooting along at that motion there. So then you can come off like that. Show them the same motion coming off. You came out, you were coming in. Show them the same thing, but all of a sudden this guy's coming in. Chucky's coming in. They call that Chucky sometimes, or vice versa. You can do that one, or you can just little bop bait. Like, oh no, I didn't really move him. I moved him, but no, kind of thing. Like that. That's a little bait. You kind of showed him like a pattern, showed him a pattern, fake. Showed him a pattern, showed him a pattern. Come in with another man. Showed him a pattern, showed him a pattern, showed him a pattern. Switch, kind of thing. Or so that's one method that you can kind of build on how they like to shoot. They'll tell you how they like to shoot by their actions, and if you're just being aware and open to that kind of thing, and just being perceptive as to this is what's been happening, then you can build a story, and then you can start to react to it, because they'll tell you certain things that, after a while, let's say the guy shot long, 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 then he shot it straight, long, 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 then he shot it straight. Well, that's a bit of a pattern developing. Long, long, long. As soon as he shoots 3 longs or whatever, he starts to think, okay, now he's got to block it out there, over there, so straight should be open. So that shooter, in that case, might shoot like that. So then you can get on that, start to learn it, and then make your defense make movements to talk him into that hole that he wants. So that's kind of one way to kind of block a person, or to kind of get a read on a person. And rollover shooters, find a lot of them, especially a lot of the blind shooters, and you'll get a sense of when someone's shooting blind or someone's actually shooting, reacting to your movements and reading you. A lot of blind shooters will actually shoot in cycles. I call cycles, or they'll shoot like a pull, push, middle, pull, push, middle, pull, push, middle, and they'll just keep going that cycle until the game's over, kind of thing. But they might not even realize they do it, but that's just their mentality when they're just playing with their brains off, and they're just shooting, whatever. You heard that was my cat. Hello, Potamus, you go outside. I guess Potamus doesn't like my my defensive strategies. Anyways, so that's one way to do it. You kind of being aware, and people will kind of give you, they'll tell you that story. They'll tell you, through the way that they're shooting, that they might have a pattern. Some people don't, and they shoot for different reasons, and then that starts to have to become a different type of defense. So same kind of thing on the 5-bar. Your emotions, might dictate when they shoot. They might be reacting to you in your motions, or they might just be totally passing blind, just trying to hit a good pass. They might be trying to throw fakes and see if you react to those things. Oftentimes, like if someone does like to throw fakes, I will react to the fake to show them, hey, I'm reacting to your fake, but then no, I'm not going to react to the fake the next time. I'm in control of where I put my 5-bar. I'm not a big proponent of chasing down every pass on the 5-bar. I'm a very positional 5-bar. Like if I want to be somewhere, I want to be in that hole. I don't want to be kind of like hesitant, kind of flailing around and doing this kind of thing where I don't really know where I am. I'm very positional.